up? This is Reigndrop Lopes, the first lady of hip rock, and you are watching hiphopod.com.
I guess maybe in my own crazy mind, I guess I always thought, with anything that would happen, like, you would be like her replacement. Like, I hate it. I don't even want to, like, but so it's cute. I think it's great because you kind of went your own way. Like, you're like her, but it's like you went your own way. Like, how did you even get into the rock? Like, yeah.
I grew up listening to rock. So that's how I got into it. I mean, Lisa was listening to Run DMC, and I was listening to Guns N' Roses. I mean, she literally introduced me to people as her white sister. I went to, like, all-white high school. She went to, like, the black Puerto Rican high school. And whenever she would introduce me, she'd be like, this is my white sister. It was just funny to me. But that's just how opposite we were as far as our taste of music and, stuff like that. So.
Was there anything that you learned, like, from, like, what she does? And because you rap.
Yeah.
So it's like, are there certain things or like that you've taken from her, and even like maybe even business wise or music wise, like that you've kind of taken and putting into your own character?
I think it would have to be business wise, and Lisa was very much into the business part of music, and a lot of artists, they have so many people around and they don't know anything about the business. Like, literally, they'll be in the music industry for 10 plus years and know nothing. You know what I mean? So that's what I learned from Lisa, is to always know what's going on, how to do it. Even if you have someone else doing it, you always know, what the proper procedures are, if they're doing stuff right, you'll know. So that it's a way where, you won't have a lot of people that can get over on you. I like to go where people like me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And living in Atlanta, it's kind of hard because a lot of people here, they're used to certain music. They're used to female rappers sounding the same. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so for me, it's hard to perform in Atlanta because I don't get a lot of people understanding what I do. Like, even if they like it, they're still, like, kind of confused or maybe not deciding. Well, you know what I mean? So I like to go outside of Atlanta. That's where I get more people that understand what I do. Overseas is like the best place. When I performed in Japan, they never heard of me, never heard of hip rock, whatever. But they were like all into it. You know what I mean? So I think overseas is definitely my market. Yeah, I'm actually looking to go back there in October.
Okay.
For a promotional tour. So
okay.
We'll see how that goes. And then Australia is probably going to be next. Sweden, because I'm actually working on a song right now with an artist from Sweden. So I know I'm going to have to go there and perform that. So, well, the new music I'm recording, actually, it is a new project. And it's an overseas only project. Sorry, U.S. But some stuff, are just for overseas. So,
right.
Yeah.
But why? Like, explain that. Because I really feel like, because here's the thing.
It has to do with a lot to do with politics. Just put it like that. There's a lot more politics here in the States, in the U.S., than it is overseas.
Right.
A lot more. Overseas, you can pretty much almost do what you want to do. So I'm not saying it will never be released here, but it's not for the U.S. It's for overseas. You can get anything online.
Right.
Like Lisa's Supernova album was released, overseas, but you can still get it online.
Right.
So it'll be like that. But actually, when I went out there to perform, I made some connections out there with one of the main radio stations, Inter FM, and a booking agency that's actually out of Japan and Atlanta. It's so weird, like the two places.
Right.
So I linked up with them when I was out there. So they're going to be working on booking me for my promotional tour out there. And the producer that's working on my project for Japan, he's actually from here. And he actually worked on Lisa's Supernova album.
Or do they want, like, hip-hop music over there? Like, do they want hip rock? Like, are they looking for, like, U.S. citizens to come and, do things there?
Overseas, I've noticed that, number one, they love American music. Like, you go to Japan where probably 90% of the people speak Japanese, but the club that I performed at, all I heard was American music. Like, I didn't hear any Japanese music, so I know they love American music, When I first started doing music, I always wanted to go overseas. Like, that was where I was looking. But I didn't have connections out there. I didn't know people out there. So I always wanted to go out there, had the desire. But, once I went to Japan, now it just opened the door,
right.
So now I have the connections.
So that was like pretty much that trip to the awards and stuff. Like,
yes.
Was like, okay, now we have to get out there and do
exactly. And that was the start of like everything falling in line behind it. Because once I got back, then I met with the producer who's going to be working on my new project. And he told me about the production he was doing for the Swedish artist. And that's how that came about. So it's like everything's been falling in line. I have a new PR. She's out in LA. Her name is Kimberly Jesse. So she's working on some stuff. I mean, I would move tomorrow. I just like, I've always been into different cultures growing up. I don't know why. I've always just been interested in what was not directly around me. Hey, what's up? I am Reigndrop Lopes, the first lady of hip hop.
I rock this track out just for us.